Memphis Calligraphy. Let's start over.
No, go.
Well, I want to welcome everybody. We had a really good day today. Slight breeze, but warm, and we'll go ahead. Do we have any birthdays this month? Any members here with me besides Bill?
Well, happy birthday.
You'll be 21 again.
Bill.
Happy birthday.
Tomorrow.
Wait for tomorrow. I would say
Bill who?
Bill.
Theodore.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
That was big.
Yeah, you'll be 21 again.
That Bill.
Sounds good. Maybe not going to get 40 yet. No. Good. You're staring at it. Well, Peggy is suffering with what sounds like a sore throat and kind of sick. And she's taking notes or minutes. And so if anybody has anything to say, speak up. Can you hear me, Peggy?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we'll go ahead and start off. I won't even ask you to read the minutes, Peggy. We'll dispense with that this month, okay?
Yeah, thank you.
And we all feel sorry for you. I know that it's hard to it being sick. And I think don't have too much to report on, but I will let Lisa take over the library for a few minutes and have.
Wow, all these faces, like all time. Well, I don't know exactly where to start. First of all, I'm going to have to leave. So if you want to check out a book, please give the card with your name and today's date on it to Maggie. This Maggie, she's the lovely lady over here. So please do that so it won't get lost and I'll wonder, who did I give that book to? Now, speaking of Maggie, have any of you ever been looking around on the internet or at a bookstore or something and said, man, that's a great book. I'd love to have it. But I don't really want to spend that much money, or that's a great book. I think everybody in the field would love it. Thank you, Maggie. She had selected two books that she's going to check out for the first time today. This one, Contemporary Illumination, was just released in January. It's incredible. It's illumination for the calligrapher and the artist. So it's got a lot of things in here that you can use as a guide for not just illumination, but for making art pieces. Great, thank you. And this one, the calligraphy book, it's all about pointed pen, 100% about pointed pen. I love it so much that I photocopied some of the pages and I put them in my permanent notebook. So.
Well, I might say, do any of y'all follow the Postman's Knot?
Yes, I do.
Okay, this is her book.
Oh,
And if
okay.
you don't
I didn't
follow
know
the
that.
Postman's Knot, you ought to, because she has other things than, she does have other things, like how to do some cards and some other things. So
Great.
the Postman's Knot.
And this is named The Calligraphy's Book.
Is it
a podcast or what?
No,
Or a book?
you can write and she'll send you emails and stuff like that. Just-
Maggie, spell it.
But
The post, I didn't catch the second word.
the Postman's, Postman apostrophe S.
Yeah.
Knock. Knock.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So these are really terrific and they're a great addition to our library. But we'd like to hear from the rest of you because we do have a budget. So let's spend that money on stuff that everybody would love to have. Another new book is this one that I bought I asked the Guild to buy this, so like $13. But it's such a great little book that I bought copies and given it to my family members who are artists. So it runs in the blood. We've got about
What is the name?
Name of it.
the name is The Secret Lives of Color.
Peggy, did you hear that?
Yes.
Now, you see that the pages on the edges, the color. Well, it makes looking up a color very, very easy, but even if you don't, this is very easy to read because each page is just like a page. But it gives you the history of the color, you know, whether it's been around from the beginning or if it's a color that's been created for ink, for oil, for acrylics, for fabric dye or whatever. So it gives you history, but it also gives you lots of other information. For example, one of the pink, and I'm not going to read from it, I'm just going to tell you, but this particular pink was the subject of a study, and they discovered that it had an extremely calming effect, so much so that they painted the inside of a prison with this color of pink. And it worked miracles, calming down the criminals, the people who were incarcerated. But they had to paint over it because it did the same thing to all the guards. So people say they took down the guards too. They were just like, you know,
They were laid back, you know.
everybody was just laid back, too much so. But yeah, maybe you could talk to Dennis into painting. But great book, and you know, it's a great thing to just pick up and read a couple of pages of. So highly recommend it.
And if you find out that you like it after looking at it, then it's only $13 on Amazon. For the hardbound book, you can't hardly get a hardbound book for that anymore. I went ahead and grabbed one up.
What's the name of it again? The Secret Lives of Color.
Jesse and
Wha-
St. Clair.
Where did you find it?
Amazon, they have it. Yeah, it's on Amazon. But the way I
Thank
found,
you.
Go ahead, tell me the one you found.
several years ago, I was taking would you please pass this down to that? I was taking a class at Memphis State. If you're 65 or over, all the classes are free. And even if you want to get a degree, you can go full time and it's free. So I was taking a class and I majored in art, but I went, oh, you know, I want to hang out with kids. Turns out nobody majors in fine arts anymore, as I was talking to Leanne about, but the instructor in the painting class was telling us about it. So
I've done that too.
now, this is a book that's been in our library for a while, a book of formal scripts. It's great. This is one of my favorites in our library. Someone sat down and went to chapter 3, verse 16 of every book in the Bible and included a commentary and a piece of artwork, including calligraphy on each of that chapter and verse throughout the Bible. And this is part of the library, so it's not over there because it's not something for you to take. But this is Burton Calligraphy, a retrospective. And it's,
Oh,
I don't think it's something that we would ordinarily just check out, but since we're talking about,
George, it's frozen.
I'm sorry,
Peggy, what?
It's frozen.
They restarted it.
It's on your end.
It's on your end, Peggy.
It's moving,
Okay.
and you're moving.
Okay.
so anyway, this is not Bill Womack, it's Burton Calligraphy, but we have several other books on or about him in the library. I wish we had more books about Calligraphy, Womack, but as you know, we've got a lot of books from his personal library that his family gave us. So enjoy all of these. I'm sorry.
Question, what was that second one that you said the postman person wrote?
What's the name of it?
Lindsay Bugbee, Bugbee.
What's the name of the book?
The calligraphy.
The calligraphy book
Okay.
and pointed pen technique, inspiration, and projects. And as I said, I love it. I've photocopied the papers and put in my permanent donation. Okay, everybody, have a wonderful time. Sorry, I couldn't say you, and I'll see you next. Thank you. Thanks.
You gonna leave these?
Yes, yeah, Maggie's gonna, I'm gonna take it.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, David.
Thank you. Old age creeps up on you in a hurry. If anybody wants to check those out and save Maggie a trip or hold on to it for extra weight, it's tempting to check out the pointed pen and do we have any, I'm gonna skip all the way to the bottom of the list. All right, membership, go ahead. Yep. Okay. I knew there's something on membership.
And you'll send me your sheet back down. We have a visitor. So you can tell us about you and how you got here. This is Frank. No, this is David Malone.
No, I'm a friend of Donna's,
Okay.
and she was just telling me to come check this out. She's got me in the pottery and.
Well, we're glad to have you. Hope you'll come back again.
Okay.
And then we have another plate back with it. So, welcome. Thank you. I just want to remind you, we did not have a directory last year, but we're gonna have one this year. So Leanne and I are gonna work together and get all the information, but we need people to turn their dues in. I don't think I'm talking to anybody here, but, we're gonna have to set a deadline for that time. So if you haven't paid your dues or you know some friend that hadn't, be sure and pass that on. It's $30 for individual and 40 for families, 45 families, I'm sorry. Okay, tonight, another member of our guild brought all of these things that she is purging her home, I suppose. So these are from Bill Womack. For those who don't know Bill Womack, he was a member of our guild and he taught at the College of Art. And if you drive in the state of Tennessee, that Tennessee up there is written by Bill Womack. So we're just, and he and Burton used to come to every meeting. So they would sit in the back and doodle on napkins or whatever, but they were just such gracious people. So all of this information is free. So take it home. I don't want to take any of it back. So I need to put my, yes.
Can I say something? We have a visitor tonight, Katrina, who's just joined
Okay,
us.
somebody else came in, all right.
Yeah, she contacted me through the website and tell us a little bit about yourself, Katrina. How'd you hear about the guild? And
well, I found it online actually, just because I've had an interest in photography for a while, and I know nothing about it. I don't even know how to look things right. So I've never done it, but I've loved beautiful calligraphy or penmanship for years, and I like it. It's beautiful. I love it. Yeah.
so I just glad to
Anybody can do it. All you have to do is be extremely hard-headed and not give up.
just don't quit.
Okay, that's
Thank you.
Katrina, what is your last name?
My last name is Griffith.
Griffith.
Thank you.
Well, Frank and Katrina, welcome to the Memphis Calligraphy Guild, and hopefully you'll join. And Frank, you said you're Otter.
David. Yeah. No, actually, I'm a drum teacher.
Okay. Okay.
Drum teacher.
Drum teacher. Oh, yeah. No fun in beating your head. Yeah, the basics of mama, daddy from the beginning.
No, because I teach guitar singing in Central Israel, and I run a silver drum circle at Bartlett Senior Citizen Center.
Oh, so you're busy.
Yeah, my undergraduate degree is a combined, got to college with professionalism with studies, combined music and social work.
Okay, so calligraphy would be helpful. Soothe, take everything off your mind, find something like one of these books, learn to follow the strokes, memorize it, and then you can become a great calligrapher in amongst everything else. So, okay, what else do we need? Workshops? You have anything, Ann?
There's nothing, are we interested in doing a weekend workshop sometime and? So put it up for those and see what people want. I've run out of ideas. So you have to decide if you want somebody that does a Zoom or if we can actually bring in somebody else.
That's gonna be up to the members to vote on that. President is gonna remain neutral for the moment. If anyone in here has an idea, an instructor, teacher, turn it in to Ann, and
Or if there's anything specific anyone wants to really learn, we'll direct them to a teacher somewhere along the way. So,
we can dress up a guild member or two that they can teach. And been known to do such like that.
No. Yeah,
Suggest what?
I was gonna suggest, many years ago, we did a rectangle workshop. I can't remember the guy's name.
yeah, I forgot his name too.
And I really enjoyed that, and I would love to have us do one of those again.
Maggie knows something.
Oh,
Also teaching at Dixie at Menage.
okay.
I don't know when, but
Yeah.
doing the class.
I've actually thought about,
Right.
inviting him here to do a mini workshop and kind of,
Yeah.
give a plug for his larger workshop.
Oh, that's a great idea.
So it would get people interested, they kind of see what it is, if they're unfamiliar with that. And, give it an opportunity to then, to, get people signed up for an all-day or a half-day, work.
And I can send you the information.
Gavin,
Probably need to.
Okay.
could you give a brief description of what a Zen table is for some people that might not know?
Let me try and describe.
Organized
It's
doodling.
basically an organized doodle. And so you have,
In a confined
space, and you have, lots of different types of doodles that you do in there.
You have basic strokes that turn into a pattern.
Yes,
So you keep repeating and little square, in a square.
exactly. There you go. Those are good.
And all your work is this big, right?
And it's so relaxed.
It's like a 3x6 square.
Yeah.
And you continue to turn it and add strokes,
Yeah.
building exercise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's so nice to have live teachers.
Yeah.
I'm not watching it on the screen, just hover over them and watch.
I agree.
I remember the workshop with Nisha, and it was,
Yeah, we went to
Interesting.
his store. and
Yeah.
I remember.
we have about 20-something people in there.
Yeah, we did go to his workshop.
His workshop.
That was his old workshop, but he went for about 2 years.
Oh, got it.
Not that anymore.
Okay. But maybe we could get him to come to the police.
We have no to come to the church.
If he's not.
Peace out.
This is the workshop with Pat Blair. I'd like to meet her, she's got a nice variety of books, and I've taken her classes online. I think she's only 2010.
Is she local?
No, she's not
No.
in Marshall, 2010. You know, the calligrapher for the White House, for many years.
Oh, yeah.
Well, they have more than one calligrapher at the White House. In person, she has my one of them name. That belong to the Washington ELD. Well, they do great workshops. They put really fabulous workshops the other night. Anyway, yeah, they gave a workshop on all the work that they did for the White House during the many years that they worked there, and it was fascinating. They were so organized and absolutely fascinating. The workshop, there wasn't really a workshop, it was a lecture that was given by a man named James Brooks last night.
or the other night, I don't know what night, on the endangered alphabet, of the different species that are endangered alphabets. So it was one of the most interesting, like, I've heard in a long time, so with our participation, so it was really neat.
Be nice to have that. Pat Blair was in Memphis, what, 2003? Because that's when we had the big exhibition at City Hall. It covered the whole north half of the building, ground floor. And we had one guy that said, y'all guys can't pull that off. In April of 2003, he says, you guys can't do that. It's impossible. And so later on, I called him back and I said, do you have a piece that you can send beside the one that we have? And he said, yeah. And he said, I'll do that. So a week later, I had the second piece. The guy's name is Timothy Botts. Oh, wow. But he said, and that was in a workshop we had out at University of Memphis. But he said, you guys can't pull that off. This guild did it big time. And of course, we had a lot of help from Charles Pierce. And he made some phone calls to calligraphers around the country. We almost had a lady named Marie Linsky in England that was going to send her a couple of books and some calligraphy. And we told her, you send it, it's whenever you wrap it, it'll be insured and we'll send it back insured. And her solicitors said, no, it's kind of too risky. She had a chance to be nationally recognized. And of course, we had Canadian calligrapher. And the following year, I think it was Iran, followed through. They had 150 pieces of their calligraphy, and one looked like a tiger, but it was in their dialect writing, probably. But anyway, through those times with teaching or having teachers in, Pat came in to, I think we had what they have is a national envelope exchange.
And it's now available for anybody that wants to enter in it. They've just announced it for this year.
The graceful envelope?
The graceful envelope.
Graceful.
How do we sign up?
Go to the Washington Calligraphy. No, it isn't the Washington Calligraphy Guild.
I'll find out. I just got something. I'll send it out to the membership.
Yeah, okay.
Okay.
Here, just go forward. Go forward. Go forward.
FOUR. FOUR.
It's about things of four, like four seasons, four things. Okay, got things beyond that. But looking at the past ones, they're so imaginative. If you like stamps, it's a lot of fun.
And they even produced a book at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Of all the things.
So if you participate, you get a look.
So you can buy the book.
So they don't give them away.
Yeah.
So, okay, any more new business, old business? Well, if no one has, anybody got anything else they had to do this?
Yeah, there's something going on, we were talking about it earlier today. Mont Blanc has a series called the Inspired Writing. And there's several calligraphers that are participating in it. You'd have to go to Mont Blanc Inspired Writing. You'll see this. I don't have any other explanation on it, but there's been several really good 1-hour programs, middle of the day that you can go to on your computer and they're free.
Oh, you'll send me that information. I'll send it to everybody too.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. Bill has been after the guild members for several years. Be active and write more handwritten letters and just to guild members, to your family members, that nothing is more personal than your own handwriting. And as my sister-in-law said about my brother earlier last year, he would not throw away my envelopes. He would get that and they would look forward to getting that envelope because each year it was slightly different but it was handwritten and a note inside the cards, handwritten, but he would not throw them out. And I know a few other people like that also. But if no one else has anything, I'm going to turn the program over to Beth. Well, do I hear the motion to meeting to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
Okay, thank you. Second, okay. Beth, program's yours.
Thank you. George, did you
Yeah.
pull up the
Yep,
slide?
Yep.
So, I've been doing, word clouds for, gosh, well, I know exactly how long I've been doing them because a friend of my sister's my sister was getting ready to turn 50 and a friend of hers contacted me and said, "Hey, Beth, could you do some calligraphy that had like Sue's name and maybe 50 words that described her?" And I thought, oh, that sounds like a fun project. Yeah, we can do that. And so,
You lost your mind.
I mean, yeah, probably so. But anyway, that was the first one I did. And of course, she showed it around to her friends, and I would begin to pick up some jobs here and there. And it just kind of grew. And I've probably done, I don't know, maybe 20 different word clouds since then. But it's just a really fun exercise. And people just, when I show them a word cloud, they get so excited about it. And I've discovered that you can create a word cloud with just about any subject. The ones I started out with were to honor someone for a birthday or to do a thank you to someone with their name and putting different characteristics or hobbies or family names or places these people like to travel. It's just a fun kind of exercise. And so I thought I would share with y'all a little bit of that process and maybe y'all can have some fun with it too. I've got just a few slides that show some examples of word clouds that I've done. And that one is this one right here. That was an early one. Christmas is a theme and one of my favorite times of year. And so I thought, well, there are a lot of like Christmas carol titles that people are familiar with and words and and so I just on a red piece of paper, and I've got some samples up here, I just started playing around with it. Typically in those days, the early days, I would take like a piece of tracing paper and just start writing words and positioning things. And sometimes I would get another piece of tracing paper and lay over it and just kind of try and get a layout going. And then I would think about those different words, if there was a particular style of calligraphy that lent itself to that particular word. So for instance, Silent Night, which is kind of an ancient carol, I thought the black letter fit with that. It's in the upper right corner. The Deste Fidelis I did in kind of an uncial. But as you see, I just began to mix. Some of the lettering is pretty loose and others is pretty structured. The format of the screen, I couldn't show the whole cloud, but you can see here.
It's perfect because your eye goes to the bottom and you can figure out what the word is.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
it makes it more interesting.
Yeah. But it's cut off.
Yeah, so that hallelujah at the bottom, that's,
Yeah, I could read the hallelujah.
well, there you go. Did that in versals and then filled in with color. The color was something that, I started out with just the white and then I thought, maybe I could add some color to it. And so I just put some little touches. I was a little bit, I don't know. I guess I was hesitant to add color because I wasn't quite sure how that would work but the little touches I think added. Well, as time, went on and y'all will see, I guess gained more confidence in myself and added some color, but I like the word cloud because this one, I guess the theme is apparent pretty much just because of the color and the strong Merry Christmas and joy and a couple of other things. So the theme is not that pronounced on this word cloud. But I think it comes through. Typically in my process, the theme is like the prominent word. George, why don't you click to the next slide? Okay. What is a word cloud? I think pretty much everybody knows. I think, is there anybody that doesn't know what a word cloud is? Have you ever heard that word before or haven't heard that word before? Okay, Brenda, have not heard that word. Why don't you, I'm going to touch on these few things tonight, but I think maybe in the next slide, George, I give a little definition. Common language, probably in the last, 20 years, word cloud, there are software programs on the computer and that you can type in a bunch of words and paste it into the software program, and it will create this common word cloud. And in a lot of the software programs, if you want certain words to stand out, you type in that word, say 3 or 4 times, and that will tell the program to make that word larger.
So if you're kind of drawing a blank, that could be your starter.
Right.
To get you going.
Sure. Absolutely. But in calligraphy, the definition of the common, a visual representation of words where the size, weight, or placement of each word reflects its importance, typically generated by algorithms. So it's a software program that you feed it a little bit of information and it creates this thing. Well, in calligraphy, you have the ability to become more artistic because you're choosing where to place things and the colors, and it's a little more custom. You just have a lot more flexibility to use your creativity doing a word cloud in calligraphy because there are different styles of calligraphy. The colors you use, spacing, you can do all caps, you can do caps lower, you can do casual, you can do formal. There are just lots of choices. So you can get very creative when you do it in calligraphy. Okay, George, let's go to the next one. This is an example, and I apologize, the one on the left is not real crisp, but it gives you an idea. That was done with a word cloud generator where you're copy pasting into a software program and it will generate.
Is that something you have to buy, Beth, or is that?
No, they're free ones. You just Google word cloud generator. Yeah, some of them are easier to use than others. And Gavin actually told me about an app that he found it's got some pretty neat functionality. You can actually create a shape. For instance, a silhouette of a person.
And this software program will take that shape and it will actually lay the word cloud into the shape.
And what is that app? So we all
Is it
know.
Poet? Yeah, you did send it to me, but I haven't. Let's see if I can find it real quick. I know it was like a combination of two words.
Yeah.
Hold on here.
Your word salad.
Yeah, there are a
I
few.
have one called word salad that I use and one called Shapeago. Or Shapeago is probably what it's pronounced. SHAPEGO. Shapeago. The other one is word salads, plural, all one word. And then the one that I showed you, Beth, is called Poetic.
Poetic.
Uh-huh.
A combination of photo and poetic.
Oh,
Yeah.
poetic.
Photo is
Poet.
Right.
PH,
Poetic.
Yeah.
PHOETIC.
So those are fun to play around with. And you could even use them as a starter, right, to play off of. Okay, George, next one, we might not come back. This is a word cloud I did for a friend of mine for her birthday. And I came up with the list because she's a longtime friend, so I just came up with my own list of things. And I had to crop the top and bottom, but it's got a border of leaves. She lives in Baton Rouge where there's lots of wildlife, and they have a koi pond in their backyard, the fish in there. So somewhere along the line, I think it was a word cloud I did. Well, the first one I did for my sister, I decided to put an illustration in there, and it really kind of brought it to life. It was a little bit different, and I felt like I had enough of a skill to, look up a shape and then trace it and then transfer it onto the paper. And, they're pretty simple illustrations, but I think they add another dimension to the word cloud with the color and texture and yeah.
Is she mad about the silly you put there?
Silly? No.
About the
She would-
things and then
she would agree with
silly in
that.
there.
She would agree with that.
I have a niece that's turning 60. In
Okay.
March, so that would be just.
Yes, absolutely. So, I mean, it's just fun. It's so fun.
Yeah, and that way you could just send that one.
But there's so many ideas that you can come up with words. I mean, you can take the name of a city and use landmarks or restaurants or neighborhoods or street names or, it's just, or you can take just a word that inspires you and like gratitude and put, different words. So it's just it's a great tool for layout tool if you're struggling with something to come up with, if you want to do a calligraphy piece or if you want to make a gift for someone. It doesn't have to be anything elaborate. It can be small. But this one's pretty small, but it's kind of elaborate. But you can do them half that size with maybe 5 or 6 words. So I hope y'all try that out. I've got some. That one is probably like 8 by 10. Yeah. Let's see what our next slide is, George. This is the first one I did for my sister.
Love bees.
Yeah, that's her
My niece-
nickname.
we
That's her
has-
nickname, Sue B.
Well, my niece has bees.
Well, see,
Well, yeah, there we go.
yeah,
Good job.
yeah. So her friend sent me a list of 50 words and I just had fun with it. Y'all can see some of the words are a little more prominent just because I thought they really spoke.
I like the big faded one.
Yeah, the joyful.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I like that too. I've kind of I don't know, for some reason I've gotten away from it. I've gotten some commissions, and I'm given a list, and a lot of times it's a lot of words and a few illustrations I have to tuck in there. And I don't know why, I've got to get back to this because I really do prefer it. Trying to get too many words in is, I don't know, it doesn't have the life, I don't think, that this does. So this is, I'm glad, seeing that again kind of inspires me to get back to that layout. Because you see all the different sizes and all the different styles, plus the colors, and even that word tucked into the O of joyful, I think it's interesting. And again, I had to crop off the top and bottom, but y'all get the idea. But see,
Was this like 8 by 10 too?
mhm,
Okay.
maybe a little larger, but not by a whole lot. So I'm just looking to see how many different lettering styles I used on this one. Of course, the italic here, here, here. Where else? Sprinkled about. Different sizes, different weight. And then the foundational would be here. The joyful is kind of a variation of foundational, beautiful on foundational. And then adding the script, and this is really just a monoline, using a white pen on the paper. And see, all of this I worked out on tracing paper or just a sheet of white paper. Rarely do I just kind of dive in, with wash.
So let's say you have all this tracing paper
Uh-huh.
and then you decide you want a certain place.
Mm-hmm.
Do I just remember that or like go little mark?
Well,
You know?
I would cut up strips also, cut up, letter a word and cut it out and then tape it down to a piece of tracing paper. That's one way I used to do it. Now I typically start on the computer using type that mimics different styles. And that helps me a lot. I can do it a little quicker than with the tracing paper. And then after I get the layout a certain way, then I'll print it out and just kind of refer to it. Sometimes I'll rub a white chalk pencil on the back because I like to work on darker paper. So I'll just rub white chalk pencil on the back and just do a simple line, just to give an idea of the spacing, and then I'll go over that. I use gouache on colored paper, but I'll have a little bit of a guideline there to help me. Gouache is opaque watercolor that comes in tubes. It's spelled Gouache. It's pronounced gouache. I guess it's a French word. Is it French? Yeah. Gouache. It's opaque watercolor.
Some of it looks like it was done with bleach on paper too.
No, I
Enjoy.
think this, you talking about this word right here, joyful? That was just a watered down white. I think that's what that was. I'm pretty sure that's what that was. But I used just the white gel pen there and over there. But everything else I think was done with gouache.
How did you do classic?
Classic. Oh, classic. It looks like my gouache was a little bit thin So the red is bleeding through in parts of it. And that gives it kind of a dimensional textury feel. And then I went back, I think I went back with a gold, like a gold Sharpie and made those little marks through the center of the letter, just as kind of a decorative thing. That circle around her name I did with a gold paint pen. You can't really tell it there, but it's gold.
Do the crown.
And the crown I did with gouache. I think it's got some gold highlights on it too.
I feel like it must be scary because you get like 3/4 of the way done and
Well, that's why doing the layout first is, really, yeah. Because you can work on your spacing before you actually put pen to paper and, yeah. So what's our next one, George? Oh, this is this one right here. This was, I did for, at our church for people that are wanting to come into the faith. We give them a gift when they come in at Easter. And I created this. So we had prints made and framed them for all of the people coming into the church. But yeah, I was really happy the way that turned out. It's got, a lot of illustration work. Yeah, this was all done with gouache, the illustrations and the lettering.
Okay.
Yeah. Here again, using different styles and this, I love that, the movement of this. I don't know. I don't even know. I was inspired by Donald Jackson and the St. John's Bible. I think there were some illustrations that used some lettering that was a little similar to that. It kind of bounced a little bit, like to it. Then we've got kind of a thin unchill up at the top here for disciple and foundational and italic, some monoline down here, some script over here,
Some Romans
Romans,
and sacraments.
yeah. Of course, God is Roman. But there's some monoline, kind of sans serif, feed the pool, above the naked. So fun. Excuse me. It's fun to tuck things in and have a palette too is important. I thought all these colors work well together. But you can see that the difference in size and shape gives it for me anyway, it just makes it come to life because it gives it some dimension. Seems like none of the words are the same size. Yeah, it does.
Limits the eye. If they were all the same font, you'd be exactly. But I think because of the different styles like that.
Different textures.
So what is the blue paper?
It's
Like
it's
tonight?
like a crescent paper that you can get it at Michael's, or the Art Center has a big selection of colored paper.
Something along the lines of Mighty Heights or Canson Mighty Heights. And
Yes.
That sort of thing.
Yes, a lot of different color choices. I like the contrast, the color, the vibrancy, the color background. Yes.
I'm just pressing all this.
You can have these. Well, actually, I think there's one that has the label on the back here. I'll give it to you.
Here it is. 16, 16.
I got that at the art center.
Looks like Hanson.
Oh, interesting.
And they have it in different ways. They have a heavier weight and, but I like that. Yeah. And it's not that expensive. It's maybe, I don't know, $250 or something like that. What do we got next, George? Oh. Well, before I give y'all the challenge, we're gonna do a little exercise. I mentioned on that first one that the person gave me a list of words. But if you're creating a word cloud for yourself or for someone else, you have to start out with a list. And I call it a word bank. But some of the over here. I would like for y'all to help me. I'm going to demonstrate just a little bit on something simple on how this works. So let's decide on a theme. We can, go back and forth and everybody throws out ideas. And then once we decide what we want to do, then we'll do a word bank. Valentine's Day.
Good thinking.
Okay, anybody else?
Next month is Lent startup.
Lent, okay. How about Memphis? How about calligraphy? Anybody else? Gavin? The fruits of the spirit. All right.
Springtime.
Say again, Peggy?
Springtime.
Springtime. Okay.
Was my first thought.
How did she come up?
The first thing she got into. Spray.
Okay. We've got Valentine, Lent, Memphis, calligraphy, fruits of the spirit, and springtime.
I like.
Should we do a vote?
Spirit, because we could put different fruit shapes and different, that would be relatively easy to come up with. Right?
What could we do for Valentine's?
Heart.
Thinking of all those little conversation candy hearts.
Chihuahuas.
That would be a cute illustration to do on the Valentine, the little candy heart. Cupid.
Chocolate.
Chocolate.
Yeah.
Chocolate.
Yeah, right, roses.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Okay, George, you said Lent.
Ash. Start off with Ash Wednesday, or you could go even to Carnival. You've got
Mardi Gras.
Mardi Gras. You've got
There's some colors
colors
there.
and chains and breads and all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, king cake.
King cake.
Okay. But what about Memphis? What would be a good word bank for Memphis?
Crime capital.
What'd you say?
Crime capital.
Oh, we're not going there. We're not going there. What about Elvis? Music. Redbirds, the Mississippi.
Barbecue.
Barbecue. Great. What about like landmarks or
Dixon Gallery.
Dixon Gallery? Yeah.
The pyramid.
Beale Street.
Zoo, pyramid.
Beale Street.
Poplar Avenue,
Janet Garden.
Botanic Garden,
The zoo.
the zoo, yeah.
Lots of things.
Yeah,
Mud Island.
Mud Island, yeah,
Tennessee,
Tennessee, yeah.
since we were talking about Bill Walmart.
Mm-hmm, yeah. Okay, what about, word bank for fruits of the spirit?
All of the people that did it.
Yeah.
Love, joy, peace, long suffering. Just to go on.
Kindness and
Kindness. What you got, Gavin?
Galatians 5:22, love, joy, peace, forbearance, kindness, goodness, faith.
Beautiful. Yeah, that would make a really nice word cloud. Another use for a word cloud is to do a little greeting card. Like, so the Valentine's thing, you know, would be great to put on a card and send someone. Yeah. Springtime. Okay, Peggy.
Daffodil,
All the
crocus.
different spring flowers.
Yeah,
Or azaleas.
birds.
Birds. Yeah. That could even be a word cloud on its own. Birds.
Weeds.
Daffodils. Daffodils. Dogwood.
Fawns.
Oh, and the illustrations, little blossoms of different flowers would be so pretty.
Jonquils.
Between the weeds and the flowers.
Yeah, I mean, this is something, you could even put a little word cloud at the top of a note or a top of a letter that you're sending someone. And it doesn't have to be a ton of words. It can just, you know, put friendship and
Springtime, spring salad. Word salad.
Dandelions.
Gavin.
Well, I was just thinking, you had mentioned that birds would be a good one all by itself, or flowers, but, each state has a list of what, birds, what flowers are native to that area. So I
Yes.
feel like one with Tennessee would be your middle word, and then all around it could be the different birds or the different flowers
They
that
put
are
a
native.
I love that.
Mockingbird and a
I love that.
magnolia, or no, actually, it's not a magnolia. It is, what is it?
Isn't it the dogwood?
Poplar tulip.
Oh, poplar.
Poplar tulip.
Yeah.
What's our state snake?
Oh,
What's the
no
state?
snakes.
State snake?
No snakes.
Gray rat.
9,999 of them, and they all live in Tennessee.
Okay, let's take a vote. Who votes for Valentine's?
Well, I want to sit and see it.
Okay. It was a great one.
matter to me.
I mean, you could make a little card.
Yeah.
Okay, pick up a couple more. 3. Okay, Lent. George. 1. How about Memphis? Anybody? How about calligraphy? I don't think I said, did I say calligraphy? Different styles.
Yeah.
Calligraphy.
yeah, I like that one.
You like that one?
Pen, ink, nib.
Yeah, yeah, nib, what other tools do we have to have?
Rulers, T-squares.
Ink,
Pencils. Erasers.
eraser.
Eraser.
Quills.
Ink.
What'd you say, Peggy?
Quills.
Quill,
Oh.
there you go. Okay, well I'm gonna put 3 votes of those. Okay, fruits of the spirit. 1, 2,
I still like that one.
3.
You get to vote.
Can you vote more than once?
Well, sure. Springtime. I like
Springtime would work.
4. I think springtime is gonna be our winner.
All right. A good one.
Okay, so let's write down a word bank. Y'all help me with this.
Lynn,
Warm. Warm.
This man here.
Bills. Crocus.
Right.
Azaleas. Dogwood. Red gum.
daffodil,
What's the first bird? CBC coming?
John,
Birds.
Robin.
Oh, good one.
Birds.
Okay.
Germination.
Azaleas.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of times.
How about like gardening?
Japanese tulips.
Japanese iris.
Sneezing.
I do that all year round. I think spring's not a big deal.
It's worse than spring.
What else?
Spring training.
Butterflies?
You right,
Yeah.
sunshine?
Sunshine.
And squirrels.
Somebody said sunshine.
Yeah, and green,
Green?
green.
Yeah, I think I would do a word cloud about springtime on green paper.
Mowing.
Mowing?
Yeah, green grass.
Did somebody
Gotta
say
mow the-
mowing?
Yeah, we got to mow the
Yeah,
grass
that's
again.
what,
Crocus. Didn't somebody say crocus?
Yep.
What else?
The apples.
May apples?
Litten roses.
Maypop?
Maypops. Yeah.
Litten roses.
Oh, Litten roses.
Warburgers.
Easter.
Oh.
Bunny.
One more. What? Bunny?
Bunny.
oh,
Yeah.
I love it. There's a little illustration.
You can have bunny.
And baby fawns.
Baby fawns. Okay, that's gonna be our cutoff.
Yeah.
We don't have to use all the word, maybe and fine.
True.
It's just a bunny for that.
Okay, would y'all like to maybe do your own little springtime kind of arrangement? I've got grid paper, I've got markers. If y'all brought something that you'd like to try with, I would recommend maybe just penciling something in and then going back with a marker or whatever you brought. How does that sound? And then while y'all are doing that, I'll be working on something.
Do me a favor.
Sure.
Pick that and take it a little closer so we can actually get it in focus.
Closer,
Uh-huh.
like,
Yeah, just keep going. We need to be able to see it, so
okay,
point it in that direction and
you see it
it's still out of focus.
out of focus.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to move.
Just move it straight toward it. Just hand over.
Oh, well, I can't do that and draw at the same time.
No, just from the moment, we just want to get the names.
Oh,
There you go. We're gonna go.
there's our word bank.
There's a word bank.
Oh, okay.
Our springtime word bank. Can y'all see that?
Yes.
When we left off, mosquitoes.
What?
Mosquitoes.
Oh.
Hey, you got it, or when?
I thought we got about that.
Mosquito.
Wait a minute.
Mosquito, yes. Thank you. That'll do it.
Well, is that good enough?
In there.
Okay, might need grid paper. Y'all got something? Anybody else need paper? Gavin, you need paper?
oh, yeah.
Also think about maybe 4 or 5 words that really kind of speak to you. I would encourage you to make those maybe a little bit larger than the other words, but keep the springtime prominent. And the positioning of it, I usually give it kind of a central position, but there really aren't any hard and fast rules. So, Brenda, do you have some paper? I do. Okay. Anybody else need a grid sheet? Thank you. I do. I also have tracing paper. Anybody have a spare pencil? No, I've got a
We're sharing.
little. Well,
I think I'm going to call it a night. I think I'm going to call it a night because I can't do this anymore. George, I'm going
Yes.
to click. I'm going to click off. I'm going to call it a night.
Okay, we'll,
Take care, Peggy.
See you next month.
Bob,
have a good one.
Bye bye.
Bye-bye.
I would recommend your layout, your initial layout is pretty loose. You can tighten up on it when you go over it with your pen.
You didn't use groundhogs. Groundhog.
That's not spring.
Sure it is. The forecast as to how long the winter's gonna last, that leads into spring.
We already had groundhogs day and then got
Yeah.
to spring time.
Well, it's, you haven't walked outside today.
Yeah, I was outside today, enjoying it.
My azaleas are budding.
Yeah, then we're gonna have more freezing.
Yeah. Even the Memphis is starting to sprout out again.
Pop said, it's not over till late, about, what's it, April 2nd or something like that?
Well, you're waiting for the actual beginning of spring season.
No, he said, when he was growing up,
I
there
remember,
was snow in April.
yeah, I remember a 16-inch fall in April.
Yeah, my little shepherd pup, the only thing you see was a tail in the snow.
You might have any questions or need help?
I have one. What are we doing?
We are sketching out a little word cloud. With the springtime as our focal point. It's like the main word. And then all these words, which you don't have to use all of. And my suggestion is choose 3 or 4 words that really jump out at you. That can be sort of secondary words that are a little bit larger. And then the other words will kind of tuck in between everything.
And if you got a good
And
photo of it,
Can't say, but I think you have 2 P with them of VR.
oh, well, I was gonna get fancy with the tail. I forgot to go back to it. So thank you for pointing it.
the other thing you could do is
Spelling does it.
draw a robin first and put springtime over the robin.
It was a good comeback, somebody actually spelled it.
I promise that's what it was.
Well, you got robins, you also have bluebirds coming back.
Yeah, but we don't see a whole lot of them in the
Cardinal.
Not in
Because
Memphis,
of that.
not in Memphis anyway.
From
Out
the
east, more east.
Also, I haven't mentioned this, but if y'all do, decide to do a piece, think about what frame size you want to use and then kind of back off from that. You don't want to do a word cloud and then it's not the right shape or for a frame that you might like or. So 8x10 or, 5x7 or 4x6 or it's kind of a trim size, I guess. But at this point, it doesn't matter. We're just learning.
different. Stretch from within. Yes,
Stand by it and see if that fixed and that helps focus. Yes. Stand right up next to it.
Okay.
And let's see if that, a little bit further back if you can.
Back like this?
Yeah. No, it's not gonna focus on it.
Could I,
Okay.
what if I brought this?
If we bring it forward, maybe, let me give you a hand.
I think I can manage it.
Now try standing by it. Let's see. See if that helps. Can you stand next to it perhaps, or
like this?
slightly behind it? Yeah.
This?
It's not focusing. Let's do it this way.
She's in focus.
She's in focus, but the lettering isn't.
it's a lot better though, right there.
That's better.
Staying there, George.
I just wanted to try to get a sense of what you were doing with it.
Yeah.
Mhm.
What color would sneezing be?
What color would what be?
Sneezing.
Just write sneezing with a bunch of spray on.
In red.
In red.
Imagine the eyes. What else I can show? That's what I do too.
I lived here for. Let's see, we moved here when I was 12. When I joined the service, I was 21. When I left and came back, I had allergies.
That's what's happened to me, right? I'm 71. One in that. She got like 13. And I'd see her.
I'm a grass and bone. But it feels like I'm going to sneeze. And it's worse in the spring than actually.
Dogs, cats, trees, dogs, cats, trees, me. I used to smoke a pipe. I was allergic. Tobacco is a weed.
Not too far.
Cool.
No, I can't change alphabet. She doing it as fast as you. That's experience. All of a sudden I start doing that.
You can start bringing a sweater in here or something.
No, that.
No, it's
Has everybody used all their words?
Almost. Oh, I brought everything, but I just don't have that for you, Bill. I'm sorry. I see what you're doing. Yeah. I got what you did.
too big.
Time for show and tell.
Y'all ready for show and tell?
I didn't want to know. It's funny.
George, is the document camera, could we, if people want
If you
to
lay it,
display?
yeah, we can lay it down. Just lift it up and we can lay in front of it and we can,
Like this?
yeah, about like that. Let's see. Let's see if I switch cameras to the document camera.
So I
Okay.
didn't use all the words, but.
No.
So that's a little taste of using different colors and different styles and
Just wait in front of the document camera, we can,
I see.
No, sure, no.
Well, it's.
if we turn it
Well,
left
practice.
and wide, you might be better out here. No, you won't be upside down.
Now, can this go higher, George?
A little bit.
Okay, so I'm putting this book back in the pile. I just bought it on Audible because it's mostly words. I mean, yes, there's colors, but it's on Audible, right? So I put it back up front. Somebody else has it. It's interesting. So this doesn't tell us that.
No, it's not higher than that, but we might be in the,
Right. And the color on the desk. I love colors doing weird things.
yeah, that's a little out of focus and it's having trouble with the colors.
So that gives you an idea of,
What we can do with it.
just something loose and fun and practice, but,
Outline the red sunshine.
no, that's something the camera's doing. Kind of crazy,
Yeah.
outlining everything with the color.
Wow.
It's having issues. Well, it's giving your gardening a strong edge and the showers is all the,
Like that, right?
and your sneezing is actually sneezing.
Get back up, we'll take a picture.
Okay.
Picture.
Work that way.
I get back up, we'll take.
Does that give y'all a little bit of an idea
Yeah.
of how this works?
That's, can I show what the poetic app does?
Of course.
I don't know.
So this is the Poetic app.
Bring the lid, the camera down a little bit closer. That might help it a little bit. There you go.
Aubrey Smith.
It's background, that's what's probably hurting it.
Hmm.
All that wood grain.
Let's see, your hand looks like it's in focus.
There we go.
Oh,
Put your hand
There we
there.
go.
wow.
We're in.
Anyways, you can use little emojis to,
So Gavin put the words into this app
like,
in the shape of an Easter egg.
poetic, and I used a silhouette
Poetic.
of an Easter egg.
Oh, I like that.
And I had it put in I chose emojis as well that represented different flowers and
Okay, a little
sunshine and
kind of
stuff like that.
illustration aspect to it.
Yeah, to kind of give an idea of pictures to paint.
Yeah, it can help you with the layout if you choose to do it in calligraphy.
And and kind of in keeping, you'll notice how some of the words that made super tiny, in keeping with Beth's idea, those tiny words, I would just leave them out if I was gonna then go and paint this one, and that leaves some spacing in between the words.
Right.
Yeah.
Great. Love it.
That's the.
I did bring an example of one of those commission pieces I referred to that, this is what I built on my computer. And I'm sorry, I've got it on my phone and
Down there.
I got to switch back to the camera. Hang on. Switch cameras.
see, I just found some font that kind of mimic
It's
different styles.
They have to raise it up a little bit.
It's not a tree.
Yeah. That's the logo of the
St. James Place.
St. James Play.
Put your hand down next to it. See if that helps. Not really.
The camera's doing something weird, George.
It's focusing. It's a focus issue. That camera isn't worth having.
Well, anyway, so if y'all, know your way around a computer, it's one way that you can,
But you do that in Illustrator or Photoshop?
I think I did it in design.
Yeah. And
Oh.
about 20 years ago, I was doing these in the print shop where I worked, and they had a plug-in for Quark, and then later on there was a plug-in that came out for InDesign. to do that, generate that. If you had controls in it, like Beth was talking about, where you could tell what word you want to be the dominant word and you're like,
Oh,
And then it's editable.
and then it's editable after that. It lays it all out in real life text, and from there you can go and color it and whatever you want to do.
so there are a lot of
Yeah, but I. had
tools that can
never
help with the
used
layout of words.
calligraphy Before, and that was really neat when Beth talked about doing this program. I was like, yeah, so.
Yeah. So I hope y'all use it and have fun with it. Valentine's Day would be a great opportunity to make a little card and put a few words and draw a little heart or something. I think you'd be really happy with it. Use different shades of, you could use white on red with a little pink and, you know, it could be fun.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
And it doesn't have to be calligraphy. You can use, you know, a paint pen or something and gel pen to create something really simple and basic. Anybody can do it. All right.
Thank you.
Thank y'all.
It's fun.
Y'all are good students. Oh, the challenge. Put the challenge up, George.
Oh,
last
oh,
slide.
Back to the
I'm
book.
challenging everyone to do their own word cloud, and bring it to the next meeting, and we'll have a fun little few moments.
If you want to play with around for this, I mean, define Wordalizer is what the plugin is called.
Oh, okay.
Say that
Thank
again.
you.
Wordalizer. It's word ALIVER.
AL.
And then it has all these controls for taking which fonts.
Never
you
heard of
want.
Wow. Good to know. Good to know. All right, does anybody have any questions or suggestions or comments or anything?
Be great to play with.
Thank you, Ben.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank y'all.
An honor to have such an artist to show us.
And anyone else has ideas for programs during the year, something that you would like us to do a program on, let me know and you'll work it out on one of the future programs.
Did you want to announce next month? Or is it not nailed down?
I don't have.
Okay, well, you had said maybe.
Yeah, so I've been talking to the Art Center on Union. I'm a Midtowner and Art Center is my go-to store for supplies. And so I talked to him about bringing a selection of materials and tools and talking about them and just kind of giving us a little rundown on these different materials that they have available, which you'll find at other stores as well. And then I even offered to let him set up a little mini store here. If there are things that people are interested in buying, they can buy directly at the meeting here from him.
Mhm.
And then, of course, we have later on in the year, I'd like to have Dixie do the same thing. I kind of want to spread them apart from each other, but Dixie works at Menage. Does she?
She
I
does.
thought she just worked.
She started out just working there, but
So
how long have they owned it, Maggie? About 5 or 6 years? Or
The
longer?
lady died.
So
Yeah,
I don't know.
another great resource, and I'd like her to come in and also do a presentation on what they have and put together a little mini store.
That sounds
Yeah.
great.
Suggestion, I went to an estate sale of a former calligraphy member, and they had something that y'all must have done a long time ago. There was paper samples that had come from the art center, and on the back was listed the type of the paper, but they were a nice size that you could practice and see how a wash or ink or different things work. And so maybe it'd be nice if the guild could afford to buy some sheets and Tom could put it together for us.
Yeah.
That everybody that came to the meeting would get a selection of the sheets the art center has in stock.
Okay.
Usually, yeah, most
Leanne.
donate it.
I know, but he's a small business and we've got money. We're not poor.
Yeah.
Were the paper samples fastened together or were they loose sheets?
Probably with a brad or something like that in the corner, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, that's
it must
nice.
have happened a long time ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, it just looks like a card, like a.
About
About that big, enough that you could write something and test it.
Okay, he did that.
Yeah.
Because one side, there were 7 by 5 by 7, and then some were 6 by 9.
Yeah,
And then he did have some samples that I think were like what you're saying, 3 by 5.
yeah, they were about that big, like an index card, I think, they tried to people on it.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and they could have done
That sounds like a fantastic idea. Tom has been a long time promoter of this guild, and you always.
Yes, he
have
has.
Contact information ready to hand out to
Yeah.
people who are interested in calligraphy. I think he's even an honorary lifetime member of the guild.
No.
I'm not sure
Not sure about that.
No,
But
he's not.
anyway, he's
But-
always.
But we could make him one.
We could. We could.
Hey, that center's 50 years old.
Yep.
Yeah, they're,
Is it really?
So,
I can remember when the art center was just one bay wide.
Yeah,
And, then it doubled again.
And
And
then it was 3 stores.
yeah,
yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
That's a great idea.
So anyway,
That's
I haven't nailed him down on whether that'll be March or April is the thing yet, so that's why I didn't want to say it. But-
sorry.
And that's okay, I would, I hope that it'll be March. He said sooner is better for him. because
Okay.
Otherwise.
I'll hope that works out.
Yeah.
Please take all of Bill Womack's
Yes.
stuff. Okay, just grab you up a handful.
The stuff over there?
That stuff over there. Everybody, please.
Thank you.
You bring the file.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Okay, so great this.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I might have done a couple, so,